Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have always believed that there's a greater appreciation to showcase Descendants and Zombies within your heart, and if you don't show up on YouTube with an open heart and an open mind and talk about Descendants and Zombies, then it defeats the purpose of ever uploading a Descendants and Zombies video to begin with. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Jonathan Clarke, and the reason why I believe the way I do about Descendants and Zombies and I'm so passionate about it is because I have so many wonderful people subscribing to this YouTube channel every hour on the hour. So because I have so many wonderful people subscribing to this YouTube channel every hour on the hour, it is my diligence to upload videos that are dedicated to Descendants and Zombies and to dedicate this YouTube channel to talking about Descendants and Zombies the way it was forever and always meant to be discussed. Because I think that a lot of people who are uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies never show up with the same passion that exists in your heart that watch the videos about Descendants and Zombies, because you know everything there is to know about the franchises. And the quicker the YouTube creators who upload these videos realize that, then the greater appreciation will be shown from you guys, the fans of Descendants and Zombies. You have every reason to feel the way that you do, and you are right and justified by how you feel the way you do about all these critics that are uploading videos with criticism about your favorite franchises, because you grew up with these franchises. You know, many years ago, that wasn't yesterday, there was a show called Sailor Moon, and it was one of the most beautiful franchises in Japanese animation history. It focused on a team of girls who wanted to save planet Earth from obstruction, but throughout their journeys and their challenges they were faced with, Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, Sailor Mercury, and Sailor Jupiter learned to bond over friendship. And the friendship they had was the strongest thing in the universe that overcame all adversity they were ever faced with. And Sailor Moon went on to become one of the most celebrated and most revered Japanese animated TV series that was animated of all time. And it will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time for its emphatic message of how power and friendship and dedication to who and what you believe in is the greatest thing of all time. It's the greatest gift that anyone could ever have bestowed upon their heart. And then many years later, I remember watching that show in the 1990s. It lasted about 4 seasons, and there were so many different variations of it. Here comes Descendants and Zombies with an even powerful exemplification on just how much further kindness can touch a person's heart and how much of a profound impact it can have on a person's legacy. And I really believe that each and every one of us have a legacy, and how we define our legacy is up to us. And through watching characters like Red and Chloe and Mal and Evie, we've learned to define our legacies for whatever reasons we want to achieve our legacies for having been and go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time. I really do believe, as unrealistic as it may sound to a lot of people and a lot of critics who watch these videos, that we all have a legacy and we all have a chance of going down in history for being some of the greatest of all time. And as long and forever as we believe that and hold on to that belief, the chances of our dream getting that much closer to us and becoming that much more of a reality is that much closer than we ever give it credit for or ever seem to realize. I just want to say thank you so much for just always supporting these videos and always believing in my vision for Descendants and Zombies, because this is the greatest honor of my life, to be able to talk about my favorite franchises and all the moments that have forever and always held a special place in my heart for how much they've not only meant to me, but meant to each and every one of you. And that's something that I forever and always carry with me, no matter where I've went, no matter what's become of me in my own life, whatever I may have been going through. I knew I had the fans of Descendants and Zombies who believed in Freya, Skye that much, who believed in Clarke that much, that they deserved all the respect in the world and all the accolades they are achieving. Because every single time I see Clarke step onto a stage and accept an award or achieve an accolade or a milestone, which is very difficult to get to in the entertainment industry, I could never feel more proud for them, because this is exactly what I wanted to see happen for them ever since I started talking about them a year and a half ago. I've wanted them to achieve every legacy that was ever possible for them to achieve, every accolade, every moment. I really enjoyed watching them cry over emotional moments that mean so much to their heart. I can't say that I've enjoyed watching them cry at the expense of a critic, because everywhere they go there seems to be a critic lurking in the shadows with a jot note and a piece of paper writing down, things to review critically about them and offer constructive criticism on their YouTube channel. I think Clarke and Freya Skye deserve better than that. I think that someone really needs to go out of the way to upload more positive videos with a positive vibe about Descendants and Zombies than we've been seeing, because I think that a lot of people choose not to give Clarke and Freya Skye a chance. But when you look at the performances at the Worlds Collide Tour, They were incredible, and they were really mind-blowing, and I had never felt more honored to talk about Freya, Skye, and Kylie Control in the way that I had the chance to this past summer, making it the greatest summer of my life and a summer that I will never ever forget, not only because I got the chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies, but I got the chance to spend this summer with each and every one of you and meet so many incredible fans who feel the same way that I do, if not that much stronger and that much more passionate about Descendants and Zombies. This really has been the greatest honor of my life. Now, I know I record a lot of funny videos sometimes about how I thought my roommate was a werewolf and I contemplated shooting him, how I thought my girlfriend was a vampire, my next door neighbor was a zombie. Because I think that people that we see every day, we think are zombies more than we ever give it credit for. Because I think that someday everybody is zombieing out one day after another. And I think that there are far more zombies out there than ever given credit for. Which is why I thought the script for Zombies emphasized a lot of, real life things and scenarios that may have been happening to us in our own lives. How we were suffering from bullying. How we were trying to achieve acceptance in a world that we thought would never accept us. And I think these two characters, Zed and Addison, did a huge exemplification of honoring that for so many people who may have been going through the same thing. While on the other side of the spectrum for Descendants, Ruby Rose Turner did a fabulous job of just illustrating how much further kindness can make it in a person's life. It can really take a person. I've always believed that Ruby was the most kind person that I could ever have the honor of talking about on this YouTube channel, and I will forever believe that Ruby Rose Turner was my first ever crush that I developed because of being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And Ruby was always one of the reasons why I always said thank you to each and every one of you for showing up at my door on Halloween, dressed up as your favorite Descendants characters, trying to encourage me to become a fan of Descendants and Zombies and record all these videos for you guys. I think it had something to do with how you always wanted the Descendants and Zombies podcast off Disney or D23.com and you weren't getting it, and you were upset over that, and you said that Jonathan Clarke's on YouTube, so we're going to go to Jonathan Clarke's house, dress up as your favorite Descendants and Zombies characters, and we're going to annoy Jonathan Clarke until Jonathan Clarke creates a Descendants and Zombies show for us, and now you've got it. So this ultimately has become the greatest honor of my life, and meeting each and every one of you for your passions for Descendants and Zombies that you have shared with me and you've showcased with me every single time that you subscribe to this YouTube channel has become the greatest honor of my life. Because I'm here to tell you guys there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. For whatever reason you are a fan of either Descendants and Zombies, I want to let you guys know that I support you. And that support will always and forever be here for fans of Descendants and Zombies who sometimes probably doubt themselves for, investing so much time and money and energy into Descendants and Zombies. But really, there is nothing wrong with that. Years ago, I was a really big wrestling fan, so I had hundreds of wrestling action figures. I know that sounds really stupid to kind of compare it to Descendants and Zombies, but I had hundreds of action figures of all my favorite wrestlers, and I had them on display in my room ever before I had this set for my Disney videos. But I had every wrestling action figure you think of, and I collected them. I collected hundreds, if not thousands, for years, and I had the big wrestling ring, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But because I was passionate about professional wrestling, did not give anybody else the right to criticize me for being a fan of wrestling. I was uploading videos about wrestling for years on YouTube, and some of those videos are still in my archives on my YouTube channels of old. But the bottom line was it was a passion that I believed in so much, and I was one of those losers that thought everything I saw on TV was real. So because I was one of those losers that thought everything I saw on TV was real, from vampire TV shows to pro wrestling, I thought it was cool. But the thing was, I was just so die-hard about collecting wrestling action figures, then eventually it spun off into video game collecting, and actually the game store just called me today. I have to go pick up a new game today, and I can't forget about that, so thank you for reminding me, guys. But the point being is, whatever you're passionate about, just keep on believing in it. Keep on believing in your passion, keep on believing in Descendants and Zombies, and allow that passion to become that strong that nobody will ever be able to take it away from you. Because it really breaks my heart when I see Clarke and Shrell and Freya Skye crying all the time and nobody is doing anything about it. There is the reality I'm faced with is there is a 7-year-old girl watching this video right now because she loves Freya Skye and she loves Clarke and Shrell. And I want you guys to know that I'm going to honor their legacies as much as I possibly can, uploading as many wonderful videos as I possibly can about their legacies so that they go down in history for being the greatest of all time. I have always wanted, the reason I say this is because I have always wanted to go down in history for having been the greatest of all time. And this YouTube channel has given me the chance and shown me the honor of actually having a chance of going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. but I know I eventually will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. I won't go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time without your guys' credit and all your love and support, because the reason why I will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time is because of each and every one of you. So the greatest way that I can honor your legacies is by ensuring that your favorite stars go down in history along with each and every one of you as being one of the greatest of all time. I want to see that happen for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, because I've seen it happen for the Twilight Saga, the cast of Twilight. I've seen it happen for Hannah Montana, and it's about time somebody makes sure that happens for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. Because I know what it's like to watch videos about Descendants of Zombies on YouTube and never see the content that you can find time and appreciating, and nobody ever seems to say anything nice about Descendants of Zombies, because I've seen these reaction videos too. I've seen people throw themselves up in the corner wishing Descendants of Zombies would go away and vanish for forever, fade off into obscurity and be forgotten about. They need to stop making Descendants of Zombies movies. I've seen and I've heard it all. And to be honest with each and every one of you, it really frustrates me when I hear all the negativity about Descendants of Zombies when we have 600,000 people on YouTube who love Descendants of Zombies so much. So I guess that's the reason why everybody is subscribing to this YouTube channel, because they love Descendants of Zombies so much. And I think this is the coolest thing in the world, that my face is the face that you're seeing recurringly on YouTube talking about Descendants of Zombies, who is forever and always supportive of your favorite stars. You know, I was always the biggest Dove Cameron fan in the world too. I thought Dove Cameron was the sweetest girl ever. She had the sweetest personality. I wish Dove Cameron would have been more appreciative of the character Mal than she ever was. I say this because she kind of just said goodbye when the opportunity came up for her to have more opportunities in life, and she just kind of closed the book on the story of Descendants, which is why I really appreciate how Kylie Cantrell and Leanne and Ruby have kept it going for so many years after Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson kind of came into our lives for a brief moment and just disappeared. I think that a lot of people had reason for saying that Dove Cameron had quit on her career and give up on everybody. But I think that Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker and Ruby Turner, because of the exemplification of their friendship, have made Descendants of Zombies such a global phenomenon and really pushed it further than everybody expected it to amount to. Because I have seen some of the most successful Disney Channel TV shows and movies, more notably TV series, just kind of fade off into obscurity. Shake It Up and Bella Thorne, after Hannah Montana concluded in 2011 and Shake It Up came out to replace Hannah Montana, this was the first major turn in a direction for Disney Channel. And I remember how appreciative Bella Thorne was of the honor to play a character on Disney Channel for a show called Shake It Up. Now, the series only amounted to 2 seasons, but I remember people like Meg Donnelly and Kylie Cantrell being so enamored by the story of Shake It Up and how Bella Thorne was so appreciative of every moment that Disney, approached her with and that she was ever a part of. Bella Thorne was one of those celebrities that kind of took a train wreck turn in her career and received a lot of negative reviews for her choices in life because they were very questionable. But I was really hoping that Disney was really going to make the most of the opportunity with Bella Thorne, and they never. I was really hoping that Disney was going to make the most of an opportunity with someone like China and McClain, but they never. It wasn't until Descendants showed up from out of nowhere that people like Ruby and China and McClain got more of an opportunity to really showcase their fullest potential and to really shine. Because I really believe, because of Descendants of Zombies, now I could be wrong in saying this because a lot of people feel differently about their opinions when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, but I believe that their stars have never shined brighter, and there's never been a more apparent time to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies and come out in support of your favorite stars. And that's what I love about these franchises so much. And I can't forget about how unpredictable the script seems to be every single time we see a new chapter in Descendants of Zombies. That's what means so much to me and will forever and always hold a special place in my heart. Now, I know a lot of people are fans of Descendants because of the music. They're always YouTubing Descendants songs. And I have this to say to people who are fans of the Descendants music. If you are a fan of a song like What's My Name, which was a popular song from Descendants 2 that everybody loved, I think that was the most popular song, aside from Chillin' Like a Villain, from the original Descendants score. If you are somebody who in fact streams Descendants songs 1,000 times every day, and your parents shout at you to turn down the music, and your next door neighbor calls your house telling you to turn down your music with a noise complaint, if you love Descendants of Zombies, continue to annoy everybody with Descendants of Zombies music, please. Because that is what your passion is. If your passion is Descendants of Zombies music, turn up your music on your iPhone or your tablet on blast, on maximum, and have it on constant repeat until it annoys everybody so much that they go absolutely crazy. Because I'm here to tell you guys, there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I've seen parents become very annoyed about how their child loves Descendants of Zombies music. I've dated girls who were very annoyed about their kid loving Descendants of Zombies, and I would have endless arguments about that over the phone with them, in person with them, and well, my relationship would eventually end because I never supported their theories on Descendants of Zombies, how it was kind of corrupting everybody's brain. I have taken bullets for Descendants of Zombies more times than I've ever given it credit for. And I've watched Descendants of Zombies with kids of parents that I dated many times, more times than I've ever given it credit for. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love watching Descendants of Zombies. It may have had a lot to do with how passionate the kid was about Descendants of Zombies, because I never had the chance to have a kid of my own, and I always wanted to have a girl of my own that would have loved Descendants of Zombies as much as what you guys do. So this is why this has a lot to do with this being the greatest honor of my life. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're passionate about a certain song or a moment or a movie, probably you like Descendants 2 more than you like the original Descendants because the story was deeper. Probably like The Rise of Red because of the vibe being very different from the originals. Whatever reason you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that's cool. And I want you guys to know I will forever and always support the franchise, because I know what it's like to get noise complaints from your music being too loud, or watching Descendants 100 times and people becoming annoyed. You know, there's a lot of peer pressure that goes with Descendants of Zombies, and there's a lot of reasons why we're backed into proverbial corners and we feel the way that we do. But that's the reason why everybody is so passionate about Descendants of Zombies. You know, years ago I used to like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I used to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those series forever and always held a special place in my heart. I actually have the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video games, and I have the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series that James Avery did the voice of Shredder on. Again, you know, showcasing a passion. I have this passion for video games like Final Fantasy, Mortal Kombat, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Metal Gear Solid. I love it so much. I really do. If there's 10 Resident Evil video games, I have 10 Resident Evil video games in total. I think there's only one Resident Evil video game I don't have, and that's only because it's a remake that only just came out 3 weeks ago, and then Resident Evil 9 comes out in February 2026. It has everything to do with a passion that you have, and I think you should be excited to share your passions with the world, even if it is Descendants of Zombies, and you should feel more encouraged than you ever have before than to share your passions with the world, because you only have one life to live. So because time is always elapsing through the hourglass, you should make the most of every opportunity and every single chance that you have in this lifetime. Like now, I'm going to get off this show, I'm going to go to Dairy Queen, I'm going to eat a Blizzard, and I'm going to come home and hope that 10 million people have hit my subscribe button. Because there's no worse feeling in the world than going to Dairy Queen, spending $8.99 on a Blizzard, a large cup, and eat the whole Blizzard, come home with a sugar high, and notice that nobody subscribed to your YouTube channel. Oh, it's the most depressing moments of my life. But when somebody subscribes to this YouTube channel because they love Descendants of Zombies, that makes making these videos for everybody that much more worth it, and I'm so much more excited about the future and to talk about it with each and every one of you. Because I could be talking to a blank space, like that Taylor Swift song. Blank space, end of the game, how does it go kind of thing? I don't know. I was never the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but I do know she had a song called Blank Space that went to the top of the Billboard charts. But it's like that song Blank Space, because you could be talking to, you know, a blank universe. But I have so many people of so many different cultural diversities subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. There is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and you should feel more encouraged than perhaps you ever have to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies and believe in your passion. Because if you have a passion, showcase it, believe it, and hold on to that passion until you're 50, which I know feels like forever away for a lot of you, and you don't want to think about being 50. Come to think of it, I've always had a dream of wanting to find the fountain of youth, and I have yet to have that dream fulfilled, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen for me. Again, going back to how I've always believed that everybody's dream should be supported, although nobody's ever supported my dream, only you guys on this YouTube channel, because you subscribe every day. Thank you so much for that, in all honesty, because I don't know where I'd be without you guys. I'd probably just be some loser talking about Kylie Cantrell, probably doing something with my life that probably wasn't beneficial to anybody, like on Twitch, playing video games, and I don't ever want to have to do that. Nor do I ever happen to want to work at the local noodle shop, which is a nightmare in its own self, because there actually is a noodle shop. It's called Chinatown, 5 minutes away from where I live. I live in the center of the city, guys. So because I live in the center of the city, the mall is right there. There's a crazy noodle shop. There's Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'd much rather stay home for the rest of my life and be a full-time YouTube creator. But the only way that can happen is if you hit my subscribe button. Because when you hit my subscribe button, what happens is you affect the algorithm and you let everybody know that Jonathan Clarke is cool and he knows what's up. I'm not just some guy that sits in front of his microphone every day with a diamond patterned sweater and talks about Descendants and Zombies for the people who love it. I'm a guy who actually is very passionate about all things Disney and loves talking about his favorite Disney movies and moments and Descendants and Zombies. Man, this is so cool. And I have so many people who are so appreciative of every video that gets uploaded on this YouTube channel. It makes it all worth it. Guys, thank you so much from my heart to yours for having made this YouTube channel such a profound success. Whatever happens to me or wherever I go from here on out, I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants and Zombies has forever and always had on my heart. From my heart to yours, guys, thank you so much. Now, I'm off to Dairy Queen to drown my sorrows in sugar. When I come home, I hope that somebody has subscribed to my YouTube channel because they love this Freya Skye video, or they love this Kylie video because they are a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I can't believe a blizzard at Dairy Queen, an American sensation, is over $9.99 with tax. Oh my God. That's why when you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you can have my dream become a reality a lot faster by becoming a full-time YouTube creator. Then I won't have to worry about paying for blizzards at Dairy Queen because I'll get them for free. And I can share them with each and every one of you. So the faster you subscribe, the faster I can start giving out free blizzards on this YouTube channel and those cool Descendants and Zombies hoodies, which Disney will sponsor me with. Free gifts for everybody. But that won't happen until I get sponsors, and that can't happen until everybody subscribes. So I'm going to go to Dairy Queen, drown my sorrows in sugar with a blizzard, and hopefully when I come home, more people will have subscribed, and I will go, woohoo! My Descendants and Zombies videos are reaching more people than ever before. Global reach. Global phenomenon. Something that started as a whisper, now becoming a global phenomenon, taking the world by storm. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for your love and support for these Descendants and Zombies videos. There are more on the way just like this one. So if you have not subscribed, be sure to do that. I know that sounds really cliche, like a loser wants you to subscribe, but he's a really cool loser, and it's my honor to be in your presence talking about Descendants and Zombies, and there's no better way to show your appreciation than by subscribing. Yeah, man, let's get it done. Let's show everybody that this is where the party's at. Descendants and Zombies or die, bro. That's the way to be. Guys, I love you so much. We'll talk again in just a few hours after sunset this evening. More conversation coming your way about Descendants and Zombies. I've never felt more honored to sit in this chair behind this microphone and review Descendants and Zombies for you, the fans who matter, who deserve all the respect in the world. Guys, seriously, thank you so much.